Welcome to Costco. I love you.
You hot dog. Yo, thank you. Zano.
Welcome to
Aussie
Costco.
boy, let's go.
I
20
love
months, tier 1. Out of your mind. The real Krogan coming in tier 1. Thank you very much for parting for duty. Well, hello, fellow degens. We are about to get degenerate. Wait, hold on. No. This is Twitch. We're about to be very good boys. Hey, in the startup, we're ready for duty. That's right, baby cakes. Your thoughts on LiveScript? I don't know anything really about LiveScript. I'm a simple dev. I see Prime needs me notification. I click me daddy. You know you do, you dirty boy. Ever tried the D? No, I've never been. I've never tried the D. Honestly, real talk, never had the D. Do you know what I mean? No.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
All right, there we go. Sorry, boss. Was like, yo, let's chat. I was like, not now. Yo, Camel's great, dude. I'm actually
Welcome
getting
to
really
Costco.
excited about Camel.
I love you.
I'm actually getting real excited about it. Nuanzan, the startup needs go. Does it? I think it needs Camel. I think that's your problem. Just watch your unit test vid. Does the startup have a 1 terabyte file failing tests? No. Why jump around languages? Because I want to find a language that I'm very excited about. You know what I mean? Do I prefer my links hard or soft? You know, I'm more of a soft link, you know what I mean? Kind of guy. The weekend, I wrote a calculator in OCaml and realized it's
Welcome
not
to
that
Costco.
fun to program in.
I love you.
It's okay. I still got to try it. I got to get far enough into it. The
Welcome
problem
to
is I've never done
Costco.
much for
I
functional
love
programming.
you.
Since I've never done much for functional programming,
Welcome to
I don't have a
Costco.
strong opinion.
I love you.
I'm trying to formulate my last opinions because either it's going to be go, or it's going to be OCaml.
Welcome
Right?
to Costco.
And then I'm going to go
I
deep.
love you.
Then I'm going deep. Alan, thank you very much. Hi. Hey, buddy. Det Pikachu. Thank you for the 3 months, baby. I used to hate Java and Maven. Now I can't live without OOP and the structure that forces you to use Java. I think that despite all the criticisms, it helps you structure very well. One day you criticize Gradle. Why do you think it's bad? Thanks. I get that. I
Welcome
understand
to Costco.
that notion.
I love you.
The thing is that there's a lot of just. Not everything needs enterprise, and that's the problem about Java. Is Java kind of has this path that's just like everything gets this layer upon layer upon layer of abstraction.
Welcome to Costco.
Everything just is built
I
in a
love you.
specific way, no matter how little or how big the needs are. And I find this to be very, very annoying in the most truest way. Gradle, I mean, just because like right now I'm battling gRPC at Netflix, and a big thing is they want me to generate clients via Gradle for Node.js, which is just, you know, not all hammers need a nail, but this hammer is finding nails everywhere. It's crazy. Thank you very much. I appreciate the Twitch Prime. Hello, Prime, my main source of imposter syndrome nowadays. Nice. Mere matter in motion. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Lord Mako,
Welcome to
tier 1,
Costco.
8 months.
I
Let's
love
go,
you.
baby. Whoa, did I just see Woke Michael? Are you back from work, or are you still working? Still working. I've always been working. I'm a working man. Brave Sir Richard, why can't you time travel? I need you to start streaming like 5 hours earlier. No, does the startup need seed capital? Stop trying to give me your seed. GRP curl reflections might help. And somewhat shit at programming because I've been working on a year in Java. I want to start reviewing someone else's code to improve faster. So thinking of maybe open source stuff. Any recommendations? No, I will never recommend what you should do.
Welcome to Costco.
Thank you very much,
love you.
Nagashirex. All right, Shixar. Nagashira Shixar. I'll never do that. But here's the deal. I will tell you should go find the thing that interests you and pursue it. Don't ever rely on me to tell you what to do, okay? What the hell was that? I need short content. Mark. Yeah, I can mark, but real talk. You know, okay, so hold on. Before we do any markers, before we do any of that flip, real talk. I get this question constantly, which is,
Welcome
please
to Costco.
turn off
I love you.
notifications. The question is always like, what should I do? How should I do it? Where should I do this at? What open source repo are you recommending for me? Wait, am I really going down? Is it F's? Are we F? Wait, hold on. I can't tell.
It turns all your bad feelings into good
Okay,
feelings.
I don't even know. I actually don't even know. Just refresh. What do you mean? I never did anything. No? Somebody stop it! Help! 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 Somebody send the police! I'm showing literally no breaking in bitrate or anything. I didn't drop a single frame.
Welcome to
I don't know what
Costco.
happened. Twitch shit the
love
bed.
you.
Twitch did, not me. Or technically it's like Amazon backbone now. But I never did anything. I never lost anything. Yeah, I know. Weird. Yeah, I never did anything. It's fine. E no F. Okay, refresh. Yeah, Twitch. Twitch might have goofed up on that one. All right, so
Welcome to Costco.
stop yelling. We hear
I
you.
love you.
Can you hear me? Okay, Elquinami, thank you very much. And Sacreed, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. And Oxalex, Hex Alex, thank you very much, sexy Alex. I appreciate that gifted sub. Let's go, baby. Turbo Cash. How do you structure learning and diving deeper? Reading 30 minutes. And so right now it's just a lot of work for me right now. And then I kind of really focus in on just like doing that well. And then this time is for me to be able to like kind of explore and think more deeply. I've been starting to do more time now offline. I feel like my
Welcome to
stream has kind of
Costco. I love you.
changed the tenor and the feel of it, so I'm really focusing much more in on offline learning now. Crimson Mana, thank you very much for the 50 subs, but I am for sure learning OCaml just on stream.
F me the meat.
MPEC, thank you very much for I don't know how to do this. Thanks for the DSA course. No problem. Okay, what the hell's happening here? Sexy Alex. What the hell's happening here? The philosophers, thank you for that. El Kadimi! Did you get the meat? Did I give it to you raw? Thanks for the free DSA course. Hey, thank you. Okay, guys, what is going on?
It's a
You
nut.
don't just come in here
Welcome to
tossing out
Costco.
euros
I love you.
or pound me's or whatever those things are called, along with some 50 bangers. How long until we do our article? I'm just gonna do one article. Stream's dead. Stream is dead. Yeah, I get that. To be honest, people need to make their own choices. All right, hold on. So let me tell you,
Welcome
love you,
to
man.
Costco.
Love you.
I love you.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you guys something. How do you? I don't. I just try very, very hard. 5 tier 1s per month. 5! I can't. I thought you loved Rust. Why OCaml? Engineers Foundation. I just have problems. F again? It's not effing. There's no effing. There's no F. Oh my goodness, Twitch. Is Twitch dying? Is Twitch dying? Twitch dying? I think Twitch is having problems today. No, I don't smoke. No smoke. I wonder if, let's see. I wonder if your family thinks I stream in a barn where I could be murdered and they'd have no
Welcome
idea.
to
Thank you very
Costco.
much for the brand new
I love
F
you.
for Falcor. Stop it! Thank you. Is it Trinex? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Looks good to me. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going back and forth on it. Yes, I'm about, like, that's literally what I'm going to read. That's my first thing I'm reading. It's right here. Why I switched from NeoVim to VS Code. I'm telling you, Twitch is freezing your image and audio, then audio resumes, but video is free. Weird. Weird stuff. All right, $50 million a month. Let's go, baby. All right. I do want to tell you guys something, okay? I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, so I get this question all the time, which is, hey, Prime, how do I up-level my skills? How do I get better? Please tell me what side projects to pick, what to build. And I am very strongly against telling you what to do for 2 very specific reasons. A, what I like is not what you like. 2, for you to really finish something out, for you to really get the learnings you need, you have to be properly motivated. You have to want to do it. And so if I tell you what I want to do, you are going to simply follow what I do, and then you're going to be disenfranchised, and you're not going to like it. I want you to love it, and the only way for you to do that is for you to find the thing that you want to do. And so, no, I'm not going to just recommend you this library or that library. Holy cow, is Twitch just dying left and right? This is wild. What? Anyways, does Minecraft count? Damn. Hey, thank you very much, Bouncy Night Mike. It's working here. No Fs. There's Fs and no Fs. Twitch dying? Twitch dying? Watch Hell's Paradise, my dude. No. I don't even know what that means. Stream is good in Europe, by the way. Yeah, either people are trolling or there's some kind of regional outage. There must be some kind of regional outage. There's probably a regional outage. Regional outage or a refresh. Where's the wrenches at? Hey, Melky, what the going on, Melky? Europe is fine. Europe always is trying to pretend they're fine. Anyways, how good are you at remembering chat? Names of chat? I recognize some, don't recognize all of them, right? It's not easy because there's also just a large amount of new people all the time. Asia's fine. The entire continent. You may have heard of Asia. It contains, like, everybody. From EU dying. Okay. Hello, tiny-handed friend. Well, hello, Bisco. Oh, what's this? Oh, gosh,
Welcome
it got away
to
from me.
Costco. I love you.
Cambo Slice, thank you very much.
Welcome to Costco.
Yeah, there does appear to be some things of people getting hurt. I don't know. Mexico hurting. Mexico. North Africa not fine. Oh no. No legs from Mars, by the way. I can't subscribe. You can't subscribe. Cali is too chaotic. Ireland is grand. What do you think of the Silicon Valley series? I loved it. Regional outage, yep. All right. Well, hey, sorry that this is all happening. I hope that you guys can get fixed. You know what I mean? All right. So people are. Let's see. More Ocamo went. I don't know, but soon. Draco, thank you very much. And Cambo Slice, thank you. Oh my goodness, I just made your stream a requirement of pip for a subordinate. Okay, I love it. I love it. I'm still laughing about it. Did you really? That can't be real. Because if that's true, this is incredible. This is incredible. Austria's effing. Austria's always effing around. You know what I mean? Samo Camel today? No, not today. Today we got things to do. All right, so this is something I really wanted to do right here. This is not educational content. What do you mean engineer foundations with Rust? Okay, my two big problems I have with Rust. Number one is that there is a deep learning curve and it happens multiple times throughout. Man, damn, Twitch is just effing right now. Sorry. That's Twitch, baby. Sorry. It's Twitch, not me. It's not me. Sorry. You know what I mean? That kind of sucks. Honestly,
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
You know, people complain a lot about Twitch, this and that and the other, but for me, this would be like the biggest F.
Welcome
you know
to
what
Costco.
I mean? This is the biggest
I
F
love
is
you.
when Twitch doesn't have a
Welcome
good
to
infrastructure.
Costco. I love you.
Yeah, I know. You don't want this. Beastco's absolutely right. Inspired Dev, thank you for the tier 1. Let's go. Hey, Prime. Hey, how you doing? Conquer Co. This one goes out to the PrimeaGen. Hell yeah, brother. Here's for the FFFFFFs. You know what I mean? Hey, Melky, get... Melky, you know what they think? Okay, thank you, Melky. Thank you, Melky. Okay? Because you know what? It only hurts
Welcome
me,
to Costco.
which hurts you.
I
The
love
Owl
you.
already subscribed. Thank you for the tier 1. Let's go. Okay, are you guys ready to do this? I think you guys, hello from Argentina. Well, thank you. Hello. Should I stop Rust? No, you should enjoy it. Okay, so let me tell you my two big problems with Rust.
Welcome to Costco.
Hey, thank you, C-Dub.
I love you.
Number one, big problem with Rust is the initial learning curve, but that's not the only learning curve. See, that's kind of a lie that people tell you about it, and I've gone through a lot of them, which is initial learning curve. Then there's like the deeper async learning curve, which is still very hard. Right? Not just like the simple one, but if you want to make extensible libraries plus async, it is kind of difficult. And then third is kind of this like whole library dev, which library dev is very, very hard. Holy cow. Dude, Twitch, what the F? What do I do here? No. I don't like anything JVM. It's just not fun for me. What's this? I don't know how to do that, Melky. All right, so apparently I have
Welcome
to stop
to
my...
Costco.
I can't stop my stream.
I love you.
I can't stop it. You can't just change where you're going. Are you telling me I have to stop everything? Hey, see you later, Prime. Keyboard Magic fan. Are you telling me I have to stop everything? All right.
Welcome to
Sepio.
Costco.
Sepio,
I
thank you
love
very
you.
much. And Hex Cereal, thank you very much.
Welcome to
All right,
Costco.
refresh if you can.
I love you.
Sorry, Twitch is acting all sorts of goofy. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. So I see a bunch of Fs in the chat. It's going on and off. No F, small F. I haven't dropped a frame this entire time. So I have no idea. So that's because, okay, first off, this is just a stupid question. It doesn't matter what Linux distribution I use, okay? Either I have a wife or I don't have a wife. And you need to determine which one it is.
Welcome to Costco.
Okay?
I love you.
Do you work at Twitch? No, I work at Netflix. Loser. Real talk. Don't stop caring what people use. Stop caring. Stop caring what people use. Honestly, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter as long as it's not Windows. I think we can all agree it doesn't matter. Okay? All right. Let's see. He works for Twitch right now. As long as it's not drugs. There you go. Anyways. So, let's, I wanted to do this one right here. Why I switched from NeoVim to VS Code. Here we go. Marker. Why, VS Code over NeoVim. All right, so this, I think, sounds really exciting. This is brought to you by our boy Nexel. Awesome developer, respected individual coming in with why I switched from NeoVim to VS Code. I'm curious about this. Okay, I recently switched back to VS Code from NeoVim as my primary code editor. It's funny because I'd actually have to switch back from Vim to VS Code. Like, I used Vim before VS Code, so I did VS Code for a little bit. So I'd actually have to go from Vim back to VS Code, not the other way around, like, oh, I'm going back to VS Code. No, I couldn't do that. You may think this is weird because everyone seems to be going the other way around. Why would anyone want to move away from the most loved code editor? In this post, I'll explain why I made the switch in my experience so far. Why I used NeoVim in the past. When I started coding, or when I started to code, I used VS Code because that's what I saw most people use. But I noticed that on my old laptop, VS Code was too slow and laggy and pretty much unusable while running aside processes like Node Server. My laptop used to get so hot that I couldn't even touch it. I was spending more time waiting for IntelliSense than actually writing code. This is actually, I have experienced this. I have experienced this. For me, I'm just much more sensitive. I don't like to feel any lag. I hate the feeling of lag. I hate when I press a button and I can even sense that the key doesn't show up right away. Like, it makes me frustrated. You know what I mean? And some people don't feel that way. Some people are okay with like, hey, if I type, it doesn't have to be exactly the way it is. I'm okay with it. Like, just for me, it's an emotional, painful experience. I had heard of NeoVim as it was the most loved editor on Stack Overflow survey, and also from YouTubers like ThePrimeagen and TJ Deviverivers. Do you know that TJ has a YouTube channel? Do you know that? Twitch streamer TJ? Did you know about TJ? It seems like a really fun community, and the overall vibe was very positive, so I tried it out. I learned Vim key bindings, Lua to configure NeoVim, created my own config, and started using it as my primary editor. Nice job. I loved it. It ran on the terminal, no Electron apps, no lag, no waiting for autocomplete. Everything was smooth as butter, and it felt fast. Learning Vim key bindings was one of the best decisions of my life. I do agree with this. Even if you use VS Code, learn Vim. Just learn the motions. The motions are universally usable in almost every editor. Even Xcode has shitty, but still an implementation of Vim motions. Like, it is awesome. Learn Vim motions. It's very, very important to do that. I know people like to meme about Vim. Enthusiasts are always trying to convince people to learn Vim bindings, but I truly believe that learning it will not only make you faster, but also rekindle your love for programming. It did for me. I do think so too. It does add like a bit of gamification, a bit of fun. There's definitely a lot more you can do. If you're watching this on YouTube later, you know, when you've liked this video and you subscribed, you know, all those things you do on YouTube, you know, have you heard of that? All the F's in chat is because Twitch is having an emotional day today and is unable to deliver frames to everybody. So every single time Twitch has a hiccups, this thing just fills in with F's. Thanks, Twitch chat. Thanks, Twitch chat. Okay, I appreciate seeing F all the time. NeoVim had great plugin ecosystem. Almost all the things that I used for VS Code were available in NeoVim. It also made me realize that some things aren't necessary at all. For example, I used the File Explorer extensively in VS Code, but I didn't even install the plugin for it on NeoVim. I don't have it either. I started to understand the value of minimalism and how simplifying your setup can make you more productive. Absolutely. Configuring NeoVim was also a lot of fun. It gives you full control over your editor and how it looks and behaves. It allowed to optimize my editor for me, tailored to my specific needs. There's also something really satisfying about using an editor you configured yourself. Agree. All of this made me fall in love with NeoVim, and I can confidently say that it is my favorite editor of all the ones I've used. Okay, so why did I switch back to VS Code? This is it. This is the crux. This is it. This is the moment. Here are a couple reasons why I switched back for no particular order. Copilot. Interesting. Copilot is an indispensable part of my workflow. I can't imagine writing code without it. They have a NeoVim plugin, but my experience with it was not so great. It was slow, and most of the time, it didn't even work. Huh, interesting. I've never had a problem with it. Like, real talk. I wonder what's going on there. Let's just go over here. Here, let's CD to TypeScript. Let's just try it out. Here we go. Lexer index. Look at that. It's already trying to give me stuff. It tokenized. Right? Okay, sure. I'll take that. And go! All right, cool. I don't know. You may have been using a different, because there's two different NeoVim ones. There's the one written by T Pope, and that's for Vim and NeoVim. And then there's one specifically written for NeoVim to go through the LSP. And I wonder if it's that. I have never used that one. I don't know what's going on. I can't say one's better or worse, but I get that. If you love Copilot, which honestly, I keep using it, and I've been using it now for practically a year. I had early access to it and everything. And I still can't find a super compelling reason to think that it's actually great. Other than, like, it can save me some time for some basic Googling questions, right? Like, you know when you forget what API, like, you have function, move div, and you forget how to do it, right? And you have, like, const, element equals, gosh, what is it? Oh, yeah, okay, create,
Welcome
or element by,
Costco.
oh, yeah, okay, so get height. Gosh, I forgot how to get height and width of div, right? I forgot how to do this. How do I do this? Oh, yeah, it's offset. Oh, it's offset width. That's right. Right, like, that's nice. That's a good time. But that's about it, right? Everything else is kind of like, meh, you know what I mean? And I did forget alerts. I realized I forgot alerts. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening here. But apparently I'm very bad at it. I never remember to turn off alerts. I'm sorry. Thank you. There you go. So anyways, just personally how I feel. It's like, good Google, meh, you know what I mean? That's fine. On the other hand, Copilot was built for VS Code. It works flawlessly, and I hadn't had any issues with it. There's also new GitHub Copilot X stuff. Currently invite only. I got an invite to test Copilot Chat, which only supports VS Code for now. Yeah, there is the new one coming out. People say it's awesome. People say it's okay. Maybe, I don't know. A tiring NeoVim ecosystem, plugin ecosystem. Didn't I just say the NeoVim has a great plugin ecosystem? Yes, it does, but it's also tiring to keep up with it. Running Packer Sync was scary because you never know what plugin introduced a breaking change that you didn't notice, and suddenly you can't code as your whole config breaks. Yes, I totally get this. I do get that. There definitely seems to be. I've just experienced this, and I don't think I have a solid reason for why I think this is great. I don't think it's that great. And this happened to me plenty of times. It seems to be happening less and less. And I also think this is kind of like a function of how many plugins you have. I tend to be a pretty minimalist plugin person. I just want an LSP, I just want Tree Sitter, I want Harpoon, and I want Git integration, right? And Telescope. I have like 5 plugins that I use. The rest are kind of whatever. Like, I love Undo Tree. Don't get me wrong. I love Undo Tree, right? When I want to go look at what I've been doing, it is fantastic, right? Like, this is great. That is fantastic. But that doesn't all, I just don't use a ton of plugins. Okay. Oh, and now there's a new plugin manager that everyone's called Lazy NeoVim, which is probably awesome, but I need to spend time migrating to get used to it. Yes, I would say that this is a huge problem with Vim right now. I am fully on their team, which is there's like a way to manage plugins over and over again, and people need to get their shit together, and we need to quit reinventing the wheel constantly. I mean, it's went from bundle, plug, packer, and now apparently this one. I know, but how is it much greater? right? Like, how much greater can Lazy be than Packer, right? And there's the whole problem, which is it's just like, how often do you need to keep on doing these things? Why didn't the other one work as well, right? No, Lazy is not endgame. By the very definition, Lazy is not endgame because Packer was endgame. You know what I mean? Each one keeps on doing the same thing. Like, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sure there's like a good idea. Why couldn't we have just made that good idea work with one that already exists? All right. It's like React, but yeah, I would say that the plugin manager is surely an oopsie daisy for Vim. And I would love to see, I personally would love to see one just supported by NeoVim and just kind of end the nonsense, right? I know that's a big ask, and I know no one's going to go for it, but it'd be great just to say, hey, if you want to do a plugin, here's the way we do it. You know what I mean? At first, I was keeping up with the new plugins, trying them out and making sure my config was up to date, but soon I was tired of it. Yeah, see, that's the thing is I do a once-a-year refresh on my thing, and I let it sit. I don't update it, and I try to let it sit as long as possible. And that's because I just like one feeling, and then I move on again from there. VS Code's plugin system is great. Installing extensions is a breeze. Yeah. For the most part, that's true. I've played around with it, and it can explode. As I mentioned earlier, configuring NeoVim was fun, but it was also tiring and time-consuming. As much as I love tinkering my config every day, I realized it was a distraction. You should never, if you're tinkering every day, you're doing something wrong. I was spending more time configuring my editor than actually coding. So, again, I think you're just doing things wrong. You're being overzealous. You're going in the wrong direction. You went from not configuring to completely hyper-optimized configuring. Find a good little bit, keep it, and don't do anything for like 6 months. And then you can refresh once. Spend a day refreshing, making some things nice. Then don't touch it again for like 6 months. Like that is the way, in my opinion. Because nothing really changes that much. You don't need to have the latest plugin. Honestly, the difference between Packer and Lazy, I'm sure is great, but I don't give a rat's how my packages are managed. I just want to put in a GitHub URL and have it work. The end. Like, that's it. That is it. I don't care. When I want to write a plugin, I just want a good API. NeoVim provides that good API, right? Let's see. I did love that I had full control over my editor though, and I think VS Code is quite configurable as well. Probably not as much as NeoVim, but it's enough for me. I'm still using Vim key bindings. I have a nice theme. I choose what I want in the UI and where I want it and how it looks. I have a few customized key bindings and snippets that are pretty minimal. Another thing about VS Code that I think is kind of missing here is when you do want to configure it, it is not fun. VS Code by far is much harder to configure than NeoVim when you want to leave a certain level. Like, I get if you want to do something basic, yeah, but then you just have these huge maps of remaps that are all in crazy JSON, and if you want to do anything more expressive, it's like, it's painful. It is non-trivial. I got a new laptop. By the way, I hate this answer. It's now okay because I can spend thousands of dollars on a laptop. Like, that shouldn't be our gauge of good software or software you want to use. Just throwing that out there. Personal opinion. I recently got, to each their own. I recently got a new laptop, N1 MacBook Air, and it's a beast. So running VS Code is not a problem anymore. Everything feels so smooth. Apple Silicon is amazing. I'm glad I switched. Here's your problem. In 1 year, in 2 years, it will no longer feel amazing. Do you know what I mean? Because the problem is that JavaScript, if there is the potential to fill in space, JavaScript will fill it in. And that's the problem. So once everything gets this powerful and everything feels creamy smooth, guess what's going to happen? Every single plugin is just going to simply rise to that level. And then it will become painful again. Every single time. Every single time. It's only gotten hot once running some Docker dev containers along with Spotify in my browser, which is understandable. But other than that, it's been great. VS Code only tools. Some exceptional libraries and frameworks only support VS Code. Okay, which you could argue is a bad thing, but it makes sense. VS Code is the most popular editor after all. For example, Uno CSS only has a VS Code extension. Okay, interesting. Which is my favorite way to write CSS. Okay, I mean, you can't argue that. Astro has an LSP, but I found the experience in VS Code so much better than NeoVim. Interesting. I didn't know that. I never really had much of a problem with Astro. I've also noticed the TypeScript LSP is a bit faster in VS Code as well. I have timed them many times over million-line projects, and they're virtually identical. The only thing that ends up slowing down is VS Code will end up having problems if you have enough files open, and the buffer LSP and the other LSPs will take over and actually can become drastically slower. Why not use NeoVim distro? I don't like NeoVim distributions. Yep, I'm on that team. I've tried many, and none of them had the same feel as a vanilla NeoVim setup. Exactly, because the reason why I think distros kind of stink is that you can't. You're using somebody else's keybinds. Do you know what I mean? And somebody else's keybinds. The fundamental problem about someone else's keybinds is that they're somebody else's. They're not yours. And so it makes mine nice. When I go to refactor something, I go leader vim rename, right? And for me, that makes sense. It's like in my head. It's a muscle memory motion. So when somebody takes this over and goes, why are you using VRN? Well, VRN seems so strange. For me, it makes sense because in my head, I'm saying something, right? But for you, you're not feeling it, right? You're not having that experience. That's why I've always been like, I get the idea of distributions. They get you into NeoVim. Great, use them all you want. But remember, it will never feel good until you take the time to make the editor yours. And so for me, that's what I like. I like that. When I want to find references, VRR. Vim references. Why VRR? Well, because I had VRN and I needed something to be like VR something else so I could trigger it quickly, right? And so this is for me. I don't expect anyone else to have this, right? I use Control J and K to go up and down on this. Do I expect anyone else to have Control J and K? I don't think so, right? It works really well for me. It may not work for you, right? And so that's kind of like one of these things that I just like highly recommend is that you make it into yourself, right? You make it what you want, right? Like look at that, Leader LR. See, I would never use Leader LR. But that makes total sense. Like, I could have ended up using Leader LR. I don't know. IDKFA? What are we going to do? Have some sort of infinite, or not infinite, but refresh on ammo, keys, and guns? What is this? It's more like IDS, PIS, POPD. Everybody knows that that's what you use. You knew people using ID Clip. You don't even know about old Doom, okay? Oh, I use ID Clip. No, you use the new remake of Doom, and you don't even remember IDS, PIS, POPD. And I forgot what it stands for. It actually has a meaning, and I forgot what it stood for. Anyways, nerds. Anyways, IDS, PIS, POPD. Yeah, there's a reason for it, but I cannot remember what it is. Okay, so totally on board with this one. In conclusion, this doesn't mean that I'm never going to use NeoVim again. It's still my favorite editor, and I'll be using it for more minor editing tasks, tinkering stuff here and there on the terminal, taking notes, etc. But for my main editor, I'll be using VS Code for now. I love this blog post. I think this was awesome. Nexel, great job on this one. I do know that there are some VS Code only things, and this makes total sense. Like, if you really love Uno CSS, and Uno CSS is only in VS Code, and you don't want to write Uno CSS yourself, makes sense, right? Like, I can't argue that. That's a perfectly good reason to use an editor. People like GitLens. I don't like GitLens. I think GitLens is just... Somehow, you took Git, which is minorly complicated, and made something aggressively complicated on top of it, right? And so it's just like, yeah, it's not for me. You know what I mean? Not for me. But some people love it. Not me. And so I tend to have a very minimal setup, right? Like I have this right here, very, very minimal kind of like Git integration. If I want to see things, I can use enter and see, okay, what did I add? Oh, I added move div. Okay, I added this. Well, if I save this, you'll go back up here and you'll see that I have all this. Okay, I don't really want to add that. So, I mean, I could remove that chunk. Maybe I don't want to remove that chunk, right? So it's kind of, you know, okay, I don't like that one. Let's keep on going, see? And there we go. For me, I just like a very minimal Git setup. I like a very minimal, you know, basic experiences. That's me. I'll always be a minimal guy. So, I don't know. Anyways, I think the biggest takeaway here is use Vim motions. Real talk. Use Vim motions. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. Use Vim motions. They work like in every editor forever. Okay? They're great. And guess what? When you're then using something like i3 or some other window manager, they also work as a means to change between windows as well. Right? Like you can use them. They're used everywhere. When you're using Vimium, you can use J and K to go up and down, U and D to go half pages. Right? Like there's so many good things about knowing your Vim stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. I like it. I like it. I don't know. I like it. The name? Oh, and it works with Tmux too. Is ThePrimeagen. How do I do a marker? I forgot how to do that. All right. Anyways, there we go. Uses i3 uses. I know, but everyone remaps it because that was a stupid decision by them. Everybody remaps it. I would never use that. Again, no. See, this is the problem about, I mean, NeoVim is suffering from the same problem that any place, like anything where you can just do plugins really easily. You know, I don't like this one feature, therefore I rewrite the entire thing. Do you have any videos? No. I just have my walkthrough. Can you open multiple projects in Vim? No. See, that's so Storm. That's where you went the wrong direction. You're trying to solve it like VS Code. You got to solve it more Unix-like. So if I wanted to do multiple projects, what I'd do is I'd use tmux to open whatever folder I want. Let's go like this. What's a good one? What is a good one? How about an OCaml one? Do I have an OCaml one? I don't have. What did I call my OCaml one? Does anyone remember what I named my OCaml one? Here, let's go to personal. What the hell did I call it? I don't even remember what I called it. I swear I've been doing OCaml stuff in here, but now I can't seem to remember. Here, find, let's see. Name is OCaml format, I think. Max depth 2. Dude, I never get the max depth right. I've never got it right. Max depth 2. Oh, it's Hello World. Okay, Hello World. All right, so there we go. So here we go. I have one project right here. Now I use tmux to go back to my other session. So there we go. TS Rust this. So now I can actually switch back and forth between the projects using alternate project. So you can see right here, I'm in TS Rust Zig. Now I'm in Hello World. Now I'm in TS Rust Zig. I'm in Hello World. So I use tmux to be my multiple projects, and then I use Vim to be in one project. Right? It doesn't make it so that way I can also, you know, if I had a bunch of things, I could go through any of them that I needed to go through. Right? No tmux in Windows, then you can use like Kitty or Alacrity or some shit. I don't know. Okay. No does autocomplete for text or Copilot work the way VS Code? Wait, what? Yeah, it works just fine. Yeah. It's just that if you're using C# or Java, I'd probably suggest something different. I still use Screen because I'm old. That's okay. Screen, you know, Screen's pretty good for old people. I get it. Learn terminals, tmux, and Vim. They're unique and different. Yeah, they're good. Prime, thanks so much for making tmux sectionizer script. Yeah, it's great. It's a very simple script. And it just also goes to show how a simple thing can be super powerful. So for those that don't know, which tmux sectionizer, here. Yeah, which tmux. So if you don't know, this is all the script is. A super simple bash script that all I do is I just simply take in a bunch of files. I create a tmux session if there isn't one, or create one if we've selected that name, and that's it, right? So every single time I find something right here, do I have a work one? Do I have a, here, I'll do another work one that I know. JS is hard to optimize. There we go. Now, when I look at tmux, I have a whole bunch of different ones that I've made, right? And they're all just sitting there. Super nice. So if I close my window, it's gone. Window's gone. Nothing there, right? Terminal dead. I'm back in my terminal, as you can see. Nothing's there. Jump onto tmux. We're right back where we were. Love it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Right? Beautiful. Context between both projects? No, no. I mean, I'm confused why you'd need context between two projects. Why do you need context between two projects? One should be relying on the other, then you use your LSP to suss out the information you need. I have no idea why you'd have two projects completely independent and want autocomplete from both. To me, that I don't understand that. I configure NeoVim for Golang in a weekend, but debugger are really bad in comparison. Yeah. I don't debug usually inside of that stuff. I think debugger is good in IntelliJ. Pretty hard to beat. IntelliJ will always have one of the best experiences because they literally have like 100 devs being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to make the product amazing. NeoVim runs off goodwill. Holy cow. We gotta turn on the alert. No! I knew that was coming and it still got me. Dang it. You got me. You somehow got me. Hey, Pick, is this a new Twitch feature? Anyways, every time I watch Prime stream, I gain a couple inches on my pee-pee.
I love you.
Damn, Pick.
Welcome to Costco.
Pick.
I love
Pick. Okay. That, somehow, I don't like that. Not followage. Watch time. Pick has spent 1 month, 3 days, and 10 hours watching Primeagen. That means Pick is literally a metricometer. Okay? Mia Terror. Thank you, Defy Us All with the hype chat. Pick is pushing PP. VS code Chad rather than Neovim, but always fail. Damn. Smooth Operator, thank you for the 50. Dang. Fryuni, also my startup birthday. Hello, Primal. Hey. Thank you. Oh my goodness, it's a tier 3. It's a tier 3! Dude, Smooth Operator, thank you so much for the 50 gift. You don't even know. You don't even know. I know I say this every time, but dang it. You know what? Asmon Gold, Pick just told me that he said that he turned off donations because he got tired of being called bald for 60 cents. You can call me bald all you want for 60 cents. I cannot believe you guys would support me at all. Dr. Falcon, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime. And Smooth Operator again, back-to-back 50s. Damn! It's a little smooth. Pick, it was funny, Pick. I lolled by myself and I wanted to tell my wife, but she doesn't like Asmon Gold. Are you bald? But you aren't bald, dude. It's not funny. Yeah, of course it is. You know, as somebody with hair privilege, oh, I laugh at bald people. Oh, I can, okay? In fact, you know what my favorite thing to do is I tell my 2-year-old that the reason why we call him Kevin, my friend who is bald, is because he's bald. You know why? Because when she sees another bald person, she goes, Kevin! So funny. It is like the funniest thing in the universe. And I think it's just like, dude, it is just so funny. She said Kevin like 5 times last weekend, and I'm like, yep. Oh, baby. Thank you, Crimson. Baby Crimson. You're my favorite bald streamer. No problem. Thank you, Crimson. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know what you're doing, Smooth Operator. None of this makes any sense.
Welcome
the Baldagen. Prime really has no hair. Yeah, I know. This is actually a wig right here.
Welcome to Costco.
Dude, look at that. Look at that. See? I'm bald. Look at that. I got like a 5 head. I make my 5 head look less 5 heady by having this nice like little fluffy curl. Thank you, Crimson Mana. Sad Taylor Otwell faces. Oh, got him, Taylor. Hey, Taylor, you got a Lambo, but you don't got hair, Taylor. He's not gonna be happy about that. Oh no, he's not gonna be happy about that one. What do you think? Let's see. Let's just make sure that I'm not crazy. Taylor Otwell. Okay, so he currently follows me today. We'll see after that clip gets out. Yeah, wait till they see Jonathan below. I know. The hair is sewn into the hood. Yep, it is. After 35, you keep what you have. That's what they say. Well, I guess I keep what I have. Running an ephemeral hair node out here. Yeah, I almost missed my battery because I was watching the stream. Hell yeah. Did you see the video of the guy who made a computer in Terraria that runs Rust code? I saw an article or something about that. I didn't actually look at it. But that seems kind of wild. No. See, again, stop asking me. I'm not the person, man. Real talk, I'm not the person. If I could give you one piece of advice, stop.
Welcome to
oh my
Costco.
goodness, every time I start talking, there's a sub happens. Hey, thank you very much, Galax. I appreciate that. If I could give you one piece of advice, it's to stop listening to everything tech influencers say, okay? Just build something that makes you happy, okay? Because here's the real deal.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
You're never gonna have a better time than building something you like. Okay? So guess what? You don't have to listen. Hey, you want to roll your own auth? Roll the out of it, okay? Enjoy it. Love it. Hey, you want to build your own stupid Neovim plugin that I think already exists and it's dumb that you're building it again? Guess what? Build it because you want to. Do it, right? You don't like Harpoon? Rebuild Harpoon in the way you want it. Love it. I don't care. That's the thing, is I don't care that you want to do that. The thing is I just want to see you excited about what you're building, okay? I just want to see you wanting to become a better developer. I want to see you passionate about anything. If you can learn one thing well, you can learn anything. Okay? I think it is great advice. I actually do think it's great advice. Here, Flip will want that. That's not true. What's not true? That's not true! There's been a lot of things said here. Duh. You're gonna have to big if true. Let's see. I'm waiting for that's not true to be expounded upon. I'm excited. Tech influencer goes resume repair services. Maybe. I just rolled my own auth. It was both easiest and the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah, you learn some things about. I mean, I had back in the day there was no services. I had to do OAuth and open auth, right? They were hard. I learned how to throw a rock. I can't learn how to throw a big rock. Oh, this is such a stupid example. Come on, stop being stupid. Because now you're talking about physical limitations.
This is my space. Do what I say.
We're talking about programming. Of course, I don't think if you... Damn it, smooth operator! Why did you do 200 subs today? I feel like I've even missed 50 of them. Why the hell are you doing this? Why? It's terrifying. Okay, sorry, but you know what? Your comments always rub me the wrong way. I'm just gonna get you out of here, okay? They always do. They always rub me the wrong way. Of course, no one thinks that if you learn how to roll off, you can also be a nuclear physicist in a weekend, okay? No one thinks that shit, okay? Nobody thinks that, okay? We're just simply saying that if you can learn something,
Welcome
you
to
can
Costco.
become useful and learn to have a good job and to just communicate and give back to people, okay? Nobody's going, oh man, you just learned how CSS works. Well, guess what? You know what? Now you're gonna do some control mechanics for a satellite. Come on, easy satellite transition in your life. It's simple. Nuclear. Karen, how the hell do I say this? Okay, get George Bush in here immediately. I need some speaking lessons. Anyways, there you go. That's all I have to say. It's spelled with an L, a heavy L. Sorry, you just, Pesky, you're always in here making just silly, small arguments over everything. No one's extrapolating this to ad infinitum, okay? When I say you can learn how to work, you can learn to do anything. I don't literally think you are going to be the person that figures out how to do nuclear fusion, okay? I don't think you're going to be doing cold fusion in your backyard, okay? I don't think you're going to do that, okay? What I mean is that you're going to be able to do something, right? You're going to be able to do something well, and you're going to impress people, okay? That's that. I don't know why people always have to take it to like the 19th degree. You don't have to take everything 19th. Let's say, I hope you take constructive criticism. Junior, mid, and even senior people will look at you and others as inspiration when you shit on what they're working with. Then start to feel it's not worth it and the spiral begins. I did hear somebody say that he abandoned some projects because he heard you rust in the future. I'm not sure what that means, but of course, I can't help leaked. What was leaked? Oh, shit. LinkedIn. Dang it. Dang it. It's like, dang it. LinkedIn, you piece of shit, LinkedIn. Okay, well. Dude, I didn't know I was doing that. I just followed a link. Somehow LinkedIn got up. Debated. I hate LinkedIn. I hate LinkedIn so much. I hate it. I hate it so much. 867-5309. Yine. Yeah, I know. Hey, y'all, can no one be a dickhead? Thank you. Just don't be a dickhead. Just so you know, anyone that decides that they're gonna like clip it, you'll just get banned.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
So I didn't see shit. Thank you. Anyways. I loved, yeah, Taylor's a great guy. Hey, thank you, dear Prime. I have to say that you saved me before burning out. What do you do matters. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I don't care. Like, no offense, but if your life can be easily taken off rails because some person on Twitter says Rust sucks, like, honestly, if this right here, Rust sucks, if this tweet right here makes you feel like you need to abandon your side project, you need to grow a backbone. Okay? Thank you, Spying Wind. Okay, thank you, Spying Wind. Many appreciations. Real talk, though. If that hurts your feelings, grow a backbone, okay? You gotta get one. Don't let Twitter tell you how to live your life. If you like it, then like it. Who cares about anything else? Why? If you like COBOL, write COBOL.
Welcome to Costco.
Right? Like, just
I love
write
you.
COBOL and love it. You know what I mean? Like, stop feeling like you need to have somebody's approval that doesn't even know you. Yes, there you go. I'm very confident. Hey, thank you, Christoph. Oh, hey. Funny, Zig guy raids right now. I work in Next.js. Go for it. I don't like C++. Right? I think there's just better. If you're going to use C++, personal opinion on a new project, I just use Rust. That's me personal. I'm not going to use C++. I'm going to just use, Rust if I had to start a new project. You know what I mean? Parasocial relationship with that somebody have is so weird. I love you. Hey, thank you. I love you too. Or do I? You don't attach a debugger in NeoVim like IntelliJ? No, I never do. Thank you, Christoph. Dicey Nicey, again, thank you. Spying Wind, I can't believe you did that. Best Zero Hero. Dear Prime, hey, you have saved me before burning out. Appreciate that. Killick, thank you very much. And Tiny Jim, hey, you know, a lot of men have Tiny Jim. You know, it's okay. Burke Blog, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime. Orato, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Vim Rookie, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Holy cow. And Smooth Operator, 200 gifted subs. You need to slow down. The curiosity is killing me. Why does Nightpop send the girl ASCII? She doesn't send the girl ASCII at random time. They're asking for HR. I'm not going to give them HR. Yeah. Do you find yourself taking forever to debug without a debugger? No. I never even think about it, honestly. Tim Historian
Welcome
19.
to Costco. I love you.
You know, I don't know. I've always been kind of a, I've always been a, I grew up doing robots when I was younger. You know what I mean? So I always was a printf debugger. I don't know. I just never really thought much about visual debugging. And every time I did do visual debugging, which like IAR Workbench back in the day, which is what I used, did have a pretty good visual debugger. It worked. But I found it to be really annoying, right? Whenever I was like writing a driver, say for a network card or for a flash driver or for a camera or for a planetary pancake motor, right? Like it's just so effing annoying to walk through your code when you just want to see what it prints like 5 times and then you just make a jump from there. Are you dunk? Yeah, I dunk. Yeah. You know what I mean? But again, I also don't program games. I think if you program games, you probably need something different. Okay? I program stupid stuff. That's all. All right, TJ, are you ready? Yeah, he dunk. Russ sucks. You suck. Thanks, baby. You know I do. You know I do. See, here I'm gonna give you like a little. I'm gonna give you guys a little pro tip on acting on the internet. You guys want a little pro tip on acting on the internet? We're gonna go like this. HTMX.org. Okay.
Welcome to
Quit
Costco.
following me because I made
I
one
love
little
you.
tweet. But here we go. You go down here. Hold on. Where's the one where he says that I suck? Hold on, dude. He's a prolific tweeter. Okay, is this the only one that he does? Oh yeah, he's still talking about Lisp and small talk. He's so angry. He's just so angry about this. There's only one person. There you go. So anyways, he says this. Hearing wild rumors that PrimeageN won't do a video on HTMX unless I refollow him. This guy goes, you're not doing good following him. I don't see any real value in his YouTube shows, blah, 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 blah. You know, here's a little secret. When someone says something mean, just agree with them. You know, because look at this. people are going to read this and then see this and be like, that guy is kind of a doof, right? Like, you don't have to be mean, right? You can just be a dude, right? You can just be like, okay. Little trick on the internet. Don't worry about what the internet says. Instead, do feet meme, okay? Do a good old-fashioned feet meme. When are you coming to Mastodon? I'd rather eat salt. I've been sitting in pink for 35 minutes. Oh, sorry, Wang's Lane, thank you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
All right. Pausing. I have no desire to use Mastodon. I think Mastodon is super annoying. Last thing I want in my life is just shitty Twitter. Because Elon Musk. Or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the reason is. I don't want to do it. Hey, TJ.
Hello?
Okay, can you talk a bunch?
Yeah, of course. What else would I do when I'm here?
Got him. All right. Hold on. Why? I think I have the wrong ping. I want ping green.
Ping green.
Yeah, I
Get
don't.
me in.
I see. I don't have greened ping. Here, hold
How
on.
is this possible? I thought we fixed this last time.
Okay, it's not that funny, TJ. Okay, it's not
You're right.
funny. This is reaction ping.
It's not as funny as my YouTube channel.
Sorry, we're actually.
They can hear me self-promo.
There we go. There we go. See, TJ, I was just on the wrong thing. Can you lean back? Why do you gotta look like a huge man? Okay.
Fine, I'll lean back and I'll get my bouncy ball.
Thank you. Can you? Oh, could you leave your chair in the scene though? Is that possible? Is it possible just to like leave your chair hanging out?
I'll try and keep my chair behind me.
Okay, now people
So-
are gonna think
so
you're
you can't
bouncing
see
on a tree. Thank you. Anyways, there you go. I was giving people advice on Twittering properly, right?
I know, I was listening.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that advice?
I thought it was pretty good. I like how if this guy thinks that people just get influenced by screaming, like they're pretty lost already. You know what I mean? Like if the only thing that was convincing them was you just screaming, like, oh man, I was thinking rationally, and then he just yelled Maria, and I was like, this guy's a genius.
It's like I thought he was dumb, and then he fucking Maria so well.
This guy knows everything.
Yeah. And so, just leave the internet. Just leave the internet. Honestly, it's never worth it. All right, so TJ, can you link me in the chat?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
your YouTube or your Twitch.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to. I already had this on lock.
I thought you were just going to be like, yeah, I'll link you.
That would have
Bam!
been way
That's
smarter, though. Dang it. I'm getting too used to actually hanging out on stream and like talking about real things.
I know. You forgot how to self-promote properly.
I forgot why I was here all along.
All along. It turns out it's not the articles at the end, but the self-promotions along the way that life's all about.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. So we're going to do this one. Should I go? Is this one way bad? What does it look like on this one? Oh, that's really...
You can turn on like sepia or something. You know how you can change the further colors. You want to see some of the other colors because they have some SVGs.
Okay, I always called it
don't,
sepia.
Sepia.
Sepia me daddy. All right, hold on. Does this... Well, let's just see how this looks right here. I mean, this is good. This is like sort of...
Yeah.
It's like light dark.
Yeah, you can turn down the brightness too, right?
I don't know. I don't invest.
Well, it's like it just was right there, right? Is it in the drop down?
Where? Oh, brightness. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Yeah, you can.
goodness.
You're kind of like it's in between.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, like the letters didn't become white.
That's true.
What is this? Give me
I don't know.
some sepias.
Oh, there you go.
Or sepias or whatever you call me. Oh my goodness, is it a
Papayas.
sunset?
Ooh.
I'm trying to get
I like
high.
how the web hack can't render it all at one time, so you see it going between the divs. It's not even that crazy of a website.
It is just divs. Isn't that all it is at the end? All right. All right, so hold on. There we go. We're going to do this. So, hey, everybody, are you excited? I hope you're excited. Oh, my goodness. What happened to this? Can you please pronounce Squeal, GIF, MariaDB, and ChatGPT? Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can. GitHub, you can just go check out my GitHub, and I have everything on there.
Jithub.
GitHub. There's like a meme I make at least once a year, which is just Mike Tyson going Jith-hub. Like, that's it. Because it's the greatest. It's the greatest meme of all time. All right, marker, oxidizing, O-camel. There we go. Start. All right, there we go. All right, oxidizing O-camel locality. I don't know what that means. Obviously, the last ones must mean something different. But oxidizing O-camel. Let's do this. This is brand new. This is from Jane Street. With me today, of course, is the young buck TJ. He has
resting my hand in my face in your palm.
There you go. He has obviously a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, Tej_DV, correct?
That's correct. You can find me there.
And also Twitter.
True, if you want to see memes and OCaml tweets.
Yep, a lot of OCaml tweets. All right, coming from OCaml, the Rust programming language has many appealing features. Oh yeah, by the way, why TJ is probably what someone's asking, because TJ's been doing a lot of OCaml and has even played with this feature, and I myself haven't. For some amount of background, this feature involves making OCaml have some features of Rust around lifetimes, correct?
Yeah, they're doing like a 3-part series, so hopefully we can do the second one later. And then the ultimate goal is like eliminating data races completely. So that's like one of the cool things that you can do.
Oh,
we'll
get
get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming from OCaml, the Rust programming language has many appealing features. Rust system for tracking lifetimes and ownership allows users to safely express patterns that are awkward in OCaml, such as stack allocated values in custom allocation schemes, managed resources that can't be easily garbage collected, i.e. file descriptors or GPU memory, mutable data structures in the presence of concurrency. Okay. I think I understand most of those words.
Yeah.
I'm curious
like,
why,
like
even this, like, don't you just hold on? Oh, yeah, because a file descriptor often is just a number, right?
Yeah,
and so
they're going to show... There's a cool example, actually, of that one. But just like for some additional context for people who aren't like as aware, right? OCaml's garbage collected. I mean, it's kind of implied in this, right?
Yeah.
So doing stuff like actually managing, to put something on the stack instead of just allocating it to the heap and then checking for it later, that's like you have to have some scheme to tell the language it's time to do this versus it's time to do that, right?
Yes. And if you could do it, it'd be fast. It like greatly speeds it up, like order of magnitude difference.
Especially where you maybe need to like allocate this same kind of value a bunch of times, right? Or other things like that. So like, you got to think, you write Rust, you're like, oh, I can pick where the memory lives. But then you're writing OCaml and you're like, I just let the garbage collector do it. What if there was an in-between?
Yeah, that'd be great. Honestly, like I said, if I could just use Rust with the garbage collector, I'd be super happy because, there's times where I want the speed, but for the most part, a compiled language is fast enough. Right? Like just like Go. It's mostly just fast enough. There's only very few niche instances where Go stops being fast enough.
Yep.
All right. On the other hand, Rust's approach comes with trade-offs. Eschewing garbage collection requires careful consideration of lifetimes and ownership throughout the codebase. Emphasizing lifetime polymorphism can make type inference untenable, a design choice that wouldn't fit OCaml. Not only that, I think...
Can we stop, though, and just say I'm really impressed? I've never seen you read a paragraph with that many big words and actually make it through.
I did.
First try.
I did. I made it through. I've really been training for years at this point to be able to read at an 11th grader like level, and I'm pretty proud of that. By the way,
are you like trying to do really good because I'm hanging out today, or like what's going on?
I would like to say that despite your insults, you still have your chair just sideways. Okay, it's not even my chair. You just have a chair in the background ruining this entire thing while insulting my reading skills. Thank you. And it got away. Did you see that slow move?
The slow disappear.
All right. Anyways, one thing I don't think they also mention here is just that in general, when you have to fully lifetime everything, it can become just even a design choice that was good in the moment can become a very bad design choice later on. And so there's like a lot of things in here that are just very interesting. All right. At Jane Street, we've been working on extending OCaml to better support these use cases without giving up the principles that make OCaml a convenient and flexible language. To do so, we're introducing a system of modes which track properties like the locality and uniqueness of OCaml values. Modes allow the compiler to emit better lower allocation code, empower users to write safer APIs, and with advent of multi-core statically guarantee There's that mispronunciation. Data
That was
race
still
freedom.
good though. Like it's still the right word.
It was close. It was close. All in a lightweight way that only affects those needs. Okay, very interesting. I'm very excited, especially stack allocation. To me, this is like a W. If you could get stack allocations in any language, but mostly rely on garbage collection, it's beautiful. I'd love to see how they do this.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's interesting is as we get a little bit further, you'll see, but like they're making a distinction that I didn't catch the first time I read this about modes, which is like modes aren't in the same way like part of the types system as like lifetimes. So like lifetime is part of the type,
Okay.
right? But then
Oh.
so it's like in some ways a little bit orthogonal to the type itself.
Yes.
Which is so it's cool, right? Because as you played a little bit with OCaml, they talked about you want to be able to always infer the type of something for OCaml, basically like all the time, right? And so if this like effectively lifetime's light, this is like the first part, right? It's like lifetime's light effectively. If that was part of the type, you wouldn't always be able to infer it, and then you would have really, really sad times, right? So you just want it to be, I just want it to work. So that's basically what's going on.
Yep. All right, the first approximation, this model requires allocating all values on
Oh,
the
you skipped
heap.
the first paragraph.
I did? Oh, dang.
Yeah.
The OCaml compiler does not statically track lifetimes. Again, reading skills. You know how many comments I get with, hey, I missed a paragraph.
You missed a key paragraph, and then you talked about it for 5 minutes.
Every video. Instead, it relies on a garbage collector to figure out a suitable lifespan for each value at runtime. Values are collected only after they become unreferenced, so OCaml programs are memory safe. Yeah. The first approximation, this model requires allocating all values on the heap. Fortunately, OCaml's generational GC can efficiently handle short-lived values. Minor heap allocations simply advance a ring buffer. Oh, cool. However, placing everything on the heap is still a pessimistic approach. Where possible, using a specialized allocator could improve performance. For example, the minor heap is typically larger than cache, so future allocations are likely to evict live values. Stack allocation would immediately reuse freed space, eliminating this concern. Okay. Exciting. Let's see. Providing an alternative to heap allocation would also have other benefits. Every minor heap allocation brings us closer to the next minor collection cycle. A minor collection incurs some fixed overhead, but more importantly, frequent collection causes more values to be moved to the major heap. Yep. Promoted values become much costlier to collect later on. So this is the difference between a minor GC and a major GC really in JavaScript as well. Very similar idea. I think they have some morbid term where the minor is called a nursery, and to kill something else called infant mortality. Some just real morbid term.
Yeah, I think they avoid using those phrases in this article smartly.
Yep. Just very big brain OCaml programmer right there. Oh yeah, infant mortality's bad. Let's not use that. At Jane's...
Alec. Chad's making fun of M. Alec.
No, we're not going to make fun of M. Alec. Okay, it's called Malik for a reason. At Jane Stream, we often write zero allocation code, which must never trigger a GC cycle. I love this. This is actually a really fun to write zero allocation code. There's zero copy, which is really, really hard to do, but zero allocation is pretty interesting because you can just effectively create a bunch of stuff that you'll need and just continuously reuse what you have. So unlike your compiler, TJ, which you wrote to purely copy everything, this would be the inverse of it all. All right.
Yes. But my compiler mostly just lives in the minor GC, right? So it's still very fast because it's just like allocating ring.
Unless if we do too much allocations, then you bump all these little minor allocations to major allocations, baby. Okay, that ring buffer's of limited size.
Wait,
is the chair back? The chair is back.
Oh, whoops. I only have so far I can push it. There we go.
That sucks. But okay, whatever. That's fine.
Stuff, but it's fine.
It's close enough. Let's see, hold on. A stack allocator would make it easier to write programs that do not touch the heap. When such performance concerns are relevant, one should arguably be using a language based on explicit memory management, like Rust. However, garbage collection is genuinely useful. Explicit management is a burden on users. Ideally, a language could improve a spectrum of allocation strategies freely interoperable with a single application. With modes, a user can write OCaml with all the usual GC guarantees, but when performance is paramount, opt into the consideration of lifetimes, ownership, and concurrency. Okay, I really like where this is going. So I hope
Big W.
I hope that we're going to get to the point of actually seeing what it does now. Yes, okay, local variables. OCaml. Let's see. In OCaml, it turns out that many short-lived values can be stack allocated. To safely refer to such values, we introduce local variables. Okay. Determine whether a variable is local involves checking a certain condition on its lifetime, considering the following function. Okay, so we have a function isInt, which takes in a single string. Opt is int of string opt in string. So that opt must be a option, yeah?
Yeah,
Instead of throwing an error.
Raising an exception. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you have this sum. Okay, cool. This seems pretty simple. You return true or you return false isInt. Okay, perfect. See, I'm kind of being able to read OCaml. I haven't really written any OCaml,
You're already there.
but I can read it, just not write it yet. That's just a matter of practice.
Yes.
Naively, this function incurs a heap allocation. The compiler does not know the lifetime of opt. Our function could return it, or even store it in a global variable. Because opt could escape this function, the value referenced by opt may need to live forever. Therefore, it must be heap allocated. Okay, that makes sense. Blah, 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 blah. As a programmer, however, we can deduce that a shorter lifetime suffices. In fact, opt only needs to live until we match on it. When isInt returns, opt is no longer accessible, so it could safely be been allocated in stack memory local to isInt. Okay, data stack, sum I. What is opt again? Just to make sure. Okay, opt is this thing option right here. It only needs to live this long.
Right, so it's
a
an
stack.
int option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It only really needs to live very, very short. All right, specifically, hold on. Did I already read this part? Oh, no, we haven't read that part. Specifically,
You're right
opt is
here.
a local because its lifetime does not exceed the enclosing stack frame, which we will call its region. At runtime, entering isInt begins a region by saving the current stack pointer. Exiting ends the region by reclaiming stack allocated memory. Reclaiming usually just means you move the stack pointer less high in the stack. Since opt is only accessible within this region, it may safely be allocated in the corresponding stack frame. Beautiful. Note, stack allocated values is not necessarily stored in the control flow stack, as seen in languages supported by Alaka. In this example, we request space from stack-based allocator backed entirely by entirely unrelated memory. Okay, the locality mode. So, local variables are those that do not escape their region. To formalize this constraint in a manner the compiler can check, we introduce modes. Okay, so I love this idea. This is where we separate out the type of a lifetime, like Rust, versus an operational paradigm of the, like, you're really just changing allocators in Zig. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, although they're going to introduce some sort of like, because this mode is more than just a hint to the compiler, like you're able to do some stuff later, but that's like the first pass of what to understand is definitely that. Yep.
Okay. By default, variables have a global mode. The global variable has the capability to escape any region, so always reference the heap. Perfect sense. Variables with new local mode cannot escape their enclosing region, so may refer to the stack. Okay. A mode is attached to a variable upon declaration, either the let binding or a function parameter. In both cases, the compiler will check that value does not escape the region. Okay. Oh, so let local. Why? How does that? Let's see. Oh, so how does it know not to make this a function that returns 0?
It will literally be a change in the compiler. So right now they have a fork that you can like test out and you can do this. But like it will literally be a change in the compiler and local will become a keyword.
Okay. Okay, this makes sense because right now you could imagine that is just a function called local.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This variable escapes its region.
So that's the error.
I don't really understand why is it escaping its region and not why.
It's well, why would also? It's saying both of them do, but like the first error prevents the rest of the compilation.
Okay, a local parameter represents a problem, or oh my goodness, a local parameter represents a promise by the callee. The function will not store a reference to the value anywhere that could be accessed after the function returns. Intuitively, it's safe to pass stack allocated value to a function. We know the value's lifetime will not extend. Okay, is empty, local string, string length equals 0. Perfect. Is it really just one equal sign? It's not 2?
Yeah, well, they do different things. The one is what you'd usually use.
Oh, isn't that for assignment, not equality check?
It's a different like operation based on where it is. Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes I don't know things. Sometimes I'm a little dumb. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see here. The syntax string at local denotes is empty takes a parameter at the local mode. Okay.
So that second, the one in green is like the type of it, right? That's what you get when you're running utop and you execute it and it tells you what the type is. It says, hey, look, your first parameter is in the local mode, and then this thing returns a bool.
Okay. Okay. Here, the syntax string at local denotes the is empty. Okay, that makes more sense. I get this now. Even without explicit mode annotations, the compiler can statically determine which variables may escape their enclosing region. Such variables are assigned the global mode. All others are automatically inferred to be local. At this point, the compiler may construct values bound to local variable using stack allocations. Interesting. Okay, so it's up to the compiler. You're not really actually telling it to use the stack. You are just simply letting the compiler make that decision.
No. Well, so you can tell it by using the local keyword, but also like someone had asked in chat a little bit ago, but I knew this was coming up. Like
If it's already allocated on the heap, it just works.
it will do its best to figure out which things are local, like based on the code that's written when it gets compiled. And for those things, it will then put it into local mode, which will allow it to be put onto like the data stack instead of a heap, and then they won't have to get garbage collected later.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So like local string, you can pass in a heap allocated item. It doesn't have to be a local explicit item. This just means if it can be heap allocated, it will be. But if it can be stack allocated, it also can be.
Yes,
Whereas the other one is only heap only if you don't use local.
Yeah, they're going to talk about the interplay between which one's considered like a sub mode of the other. This idea will be expanded in like other directions throughout the other ones to add the other features that are like interesting about like Rust's like lifetime and ownership system later, which is why I actually sent you this one originally, because the next article I think was where it'd be like, oh, that's so cool.
Okay.
But anyways, this one still has a lot of cool stuff. I mean, this is cool, right? Because it's basically like, how often do you get to in a garbage collected language say, I want to put this thing on the stack?
You don't. Usually you don't. I don't know of any language. I guess I don't know Python well enough. Python seems to be able to do everything. So I don't know if you
with C.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing is Python. Usually the answer is yes, Python can do it. But JavaScript, you certainly cannot. That's not an option, or you don't plan on it being an option. Now, whether or not they actually allow for it, I don't know. Maybe if you do like simple integers and it's JITted, it might be able to do some stack allocation for some small lifetimes, but you can't control it in any sense. So local returns. All right. Oh, actually, hold on. So even without explicit mode annotations, the compiler can statically determine which variables may escape their enclosing region. Such variables are assigned the global mode. All others are automatically inferred to be local. At this point, the compiler may construct values bound to local variables using stack allocations. So this would also allow for faster compilation because it doesn't actually have to do like a full exhaustive searching. It just has to be like, do you escape? Oh, you escape, you're global.
Well, right now it will be slower because right now it just always assumes everything is global, right? Like compilation step. Because like right now it doesn't do any checking. Like when this is all the way done.
Yeah, when it's all the way done, but Rust is really slow.
Yes,
so
it will be faster than Rust's because I think it already is much fast. Like it's very fast compilation right now.
Okay.
But yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I wouldn't want to make any promises, you know what I mean? But like it should be simpler.
Okay. Let's see. Returning a local value from a function should appear contradictory since the function's result has clearly escaped its region. On the other hand, if a function can only return globals, constructing fully stack allocated values becomes difficult. They become built up from literals. The solution: enclave? I don't know.
Exclave. Yeah, apparently it's a real word.
Oh, sorry.
I had to Google it
I
as
said
well.
N. I didn't even see the X. Like the X became an N for me. What's exclave?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what the definition. I had to look it up, but basically it means, well, we'll just
a portion of territory of one state completely surrounded by territory of another or others, as viewed by the home territory.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's basically like they're they're just going to surround that piece of memory or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the reasoning was for it, but they also were trying to pick one that wouldn't be a word that was used a lot. Because like if you did return or something like that, right? Like people are already using those words. So you need to pick something that's maybe a little bit less likely to be used.
Okay, I get that. It's also when functional bros get into it, the terms get exceptionally complex.
It's true.
It's true.
They got a lot of words.
They got a lot of words. A lot of words there. Okay, so
check out the type
right here.
That then,
it's
right?
a int list at local.
Right. So it's telling you that like this thing can't escape the global scope.
Okay. So I wonder if you can you do a local allocation here and then exclave it out?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of like just passing. It's just okay, cool.
Right. So that's basically the problem they're solving with it, right? Otherwise, they're saying you could only build it with literals, as in, Prime Flip's telling you to check your Discord. Don't dox. You could lose this VOD and be out of content. He says.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know. Flip is telling you to check Discord.
Oh no! I think we may have ourselves a bit of a problem.
Okay.
On. Oh no! No! I think I know what happened. So there's this thing that you can do where, oh, maybe no, it could actually still work. Okay, this still could work. We still could be good. Flip, we could be good. Maybe. Actually, I don't think we're good. I think something is totally screwed up. I don't know what's happening. My Twitch, I think Twitch has a bug. Because I have Twitch, because you can have a Twitch audio VOD track, and then then just an audio track, and it will drop one of them and keep the other. But it seems like the VODs are keeping both right now. Which would be, negative. Very negative.
That would be.
He doesn't want me to leak the DMs, by the way, because his Discord froze, and I took pictures of him, and he looks real caveman-like. Anyways, okay. The exclave keyword ends the region and executes the given expression in the enclosing region. The caller receives the local variable here. I'm going to go like this. He's upset about that, Marker.
Marker,
Flip,
put the picture in, Flip. Do it.
Yeah. Put the picture in right now. All right, anyways.
Flip, do it.
Therefore, it's safe to allocate that value on the caller stack frame. The difference is simply which region the value lives in. Okay. So let list equals local list in list. Okay. List, this value escapes its region. Why? Porque? Oh, because this thing returns list.
Right.
Which then becomes here, which it can only live within this in expression. So if you didn't do an in and you did 2 semicolons, then it could live right here because it'd live for the expression of bar, correct?
Well, as long as it isn't returned, basically. So you just can't return it.
Okay, you can't return it. Okay, local returning functions are the primary method of creating stack allocated values, as they can programmatically build up local data structures. This mechanism allows for functions to return their local parameters. Lastly, recall that local stack is distinct from the control flow stack, making this behavior easy to implement. So they could do exclave list, which would then make it live to this level.
So if they did exclave list at the end of this, then bar would return a local list, which is legal. Like, you can return it. It would be up to whatever the callers of bar are doing to make sure that they don't violate like the promise of what it means to be a local list. And by up to them, I mean like the compiler will tell them if they fail to do that.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, locality in our APIs. Locality doesn't only facilitate stack allocation, it also lets us design safer APIs. The following code exhibits a common pattern for resource management. With file mode read only. I don't know what this is. I don't know what these tildes are.
So that's just a named parameter. So when it has like a tilde and a name, so it's saying, well, we want to do the mode. Then you have a list of modes that you can do, right? So this one's saying it can be read only. And then here's the function that you're going to call with this file, and it passes a file descriptor.
Okay. Well, why? Oh, because you can also define a function with fun, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So, and then this is basically saying like, open this file and close this file for me, and like manage the files, like in a sense, right? This function exists already, and then do these things with the file in the meantime, right? That's what the callback does.
Okay, so this callback allows you to have effectively the lifetime for this. However long this function lives is how long this file's open for?
Yes, but they're going to show how you can like break that without the locality.
Okay, here a file descriptor is open, pass to the Lambda function, and close after the function returns. This API lets users eschew manually closing the file descriptor.
They really like that word.
They do.
Twice in one article. Nice.
It's a lot of eschewing. However, there's no guarantee that the descriptor is not used after it's closed. Okay, there you go. So you can do this, and then all of a sudden, boom, you now have stash right here. And then later on, you can close stash. I don't know what bang does. Some of these... This is where I get into the more advanced OCamling.
That's just basically how you access a mutable value. So like you can't just pass around mutable values like regular values. To access the like inner value, you do bang.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Yep.
Okay. We'll have to get there. Of course, this design can be improved by making FD a local parameter after changing the signature with file the following way. File string open list file descriptor. Okay.
So the big important part is inside of there where it says file descriptor.t at local. So now it's saying, hey, we have a file descriptor and it
can only live
a local.
Yeah, it can only live within this function. And whatever you return is also returned on the outside.
Yeah, right.
Okay. That's type polymorphism? Is that the term?
Parametric polymorphism. Yeah.
Parametric polymorphism.
Because
There you go.
it's a parameter. It's just like classic generics that you'd think of in like TypeScript or Go, basically, right? Where
Yeah.
you would like say that this is a T and it returns a T.
Okay, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. The callback must promise not to stash away the file descriptor. Therefore, we know the file won't be used after the callback. Okay, perfect. In this example, we're using modes to require a promise from the caller. This usage might feel similar to local returns, and for good reason. Formally, when a parameter is used contravariantly, there's one of those words again.
Yep.
What does contravariantly mean?
So, well, they'll explain it a little bit, but it's basically saying which one can be a broader or a tighter, like, I don't know what to say, genericism. I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but like, so contravariant, I think, is the way when it's saying like you can't pass in something that's bigger than this. So like if you think about for types of something, right? If you had like inheritance, this would be saying like, oh, if I'm an animal and a dog, well, I can't pass in an animal. I'm expecting a dog.
Okay.
Right. But if it was covariant, then it would say, oh, well, since dog is an animal, then you can do it. I think I did it right, but I keep on forgetting which way it is for which words. But that's that's the goal of how to think about it. And I never remember which word goes to which. So that part doesn't really matter. But the idea is whether it allows you to go broader or tighter of like a type.
Okay. So narrowing versus broadening. So
Yes.
One of these two mean that you can pass in a dog to a interface that takes animal. The other one is you cannot pass an animal into an interface that takes dog.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard these terms, but I always forget what they mean, and then I get into this situation every single time where I go, I don't even remember which one it is.
Your intuition, though, is like correct about it in that like it would make sense to you if you saw something was a function took in a dog. You're like, well, I can't just pass in any animal.
Yeah.
Like it's specifically saying dog, right? That's exactly what they're saying here. This one says it's taking in a local, so it has to be a local. It can't be a global.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
So then just to be clear, if we like scroll back up to the code example.
Yeah, I remember that one because that's the one.
Oh yeah, down a little bit.
Well, I was also thinking about this one. This one allows you to
Yep.
take in a local string, but it doesn't necessarily require it to be local.
Right, it could be a global.
So how does this one denote that this one can't be anything but a local?
Because since or wait, maybe you're right. Maybe I am thinking of that backwards. I have to think about it a little bit for the string one. Because I don't know. I have to think about that one a little bit more, actually. I'm not sure. Maybe you can't pass a global to that one.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. Yeah, that's why I want to play with this. Okay, modes versus types. Above, we declare a local integer x using the syntax let local. Notably, we didn't simply add a type annotation. The local mode does not operate on types. In fact, the mode of x is entirely separate from the type of x. Beautiful. That way we don't have all the Rust stuff. Types describe data structures, that is, how to build up and take apart values. On the other hand, a mode encodes a property independent of data layout. So may be attached to a variable of any type. To illustrate this behavior, type annotations specify a variable at a mode using syntax type at mode. Okay, local, right? In this case of locality, the salient property is whether a value may escape its region. Variables with the global mode can escape any region, so global variables or global values are correspondingly heap allocated. Conversely, the local mode restricts a variable to its region. A local value may be stack allocated. Maybe, is that the key word that they may not always choose?
Yeah, it's up to the compiler. Like you can't necessarily like guarantee it, I think. Or maybe like later they will, right? Like but because this is still just in like Jane Street's fork, right? They're like working to get this upstreamed at some point and getting community feedback and all these other things, etc. Right?
Okay, etc. Okay. Yeah. Encoding locality. Is this me gathering community feedback?
Sure.
Am I being used by Jane Street? Jane Street, I'd love to take a sponsorship. Okay.
There we go.
We got two of us right here. Influencers, tech influencers.
Tech influencers. But we just told people not to listen to tech influencers. So now what?
You should listen to tech influencers. You know what I mean? When it comes to me making hundreds, if not thousands of pesos, you need to listen to me, okay? I've played myself. Damn it, I've played myself.
We just Uno reversed ourselves.
I know. This is
Yeah.
terrible. Okay, encoding locality with the mode has some advantages compared to Rust's type-centric approach. In Rust, reference types are parameterized over specific regions represented by lifetime variables. This design is more expressive than locality, which only distinguishes values that may escape all regions from those that cannot escape any. It's simpler, and I think I like it more. It makes your brain,
Yes.
it's just like a super simple
And
view.
like they're gonna talk a little bit about it, but the thing that I like is like most of the time that distinction is basically all you need, right? Which is like, can this go anywhere, or
Yeah.
is it gonna stay here?
Yeah.
Right? Which is like most of the time what you have with Rust is like, well, I just want to say that this thing basically lives forever.
Yep. Yep.
Or it can't live any longer than this like function
Yep.
approximately, you know. And so like it's I like where this sort of idea is for a language with garbage collection, right? Which like the in between times you just let the garbage collector handle it.
You let the garbage collection handle it, but I mean, there's plenty of stack stuff that you're just like, I wish I could put it on a stack. All right. On the other hand, lifetime variables are a source of pervasive complexity. When references are inherently polymorphic, essentially all functions become lifetime polymorphic as well. For example, whenever a reference lacks a lifetime annotation, an implicit lifetime variable appears. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's kind of like
Which is kind of
what was that?
it's like nice, except that it's annoying because
Yep.
then as soon as you need to start adding lifetime annotations, it's like boop, 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 every single function I have to add this random syntax for it, and then I have to like mark the ones, and then oh my goodness, well this one actually isn't exactly the same, can be shorter, and then
Yep. And then you get into this whole A/B problem, which is like now you have two references in here. You have two different arguments that both need a lifetime on them. Do you make them separate lifetimes? Do you constrain them both to the same lifetime? Then you have this whole like leaking of problem, and then it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Since Rust supports first-class functions, the result is that higher order functions require higher order polymorphism, which the type inference is undecidable in general. Okay. OCaml's modes do not affect type inference. They preserve the types of existing code, so users truly don't need to consider modes they aren't actively using. Beautiful. In OCaml, type inference, higher order functions, and garbage collection are all important parts of the development workflow, so we consider the local mode to be a good fit. I'm liking this. This seems really nice.
So the one where you run into it a lot, the example that they gave for us is like, but if you try and write like a closure and you like capture anything, it's just done for, right? You know what I mean? You end up always having to like parameterize the entire closure over all the values that you want to do. Otherwise, you have to annotate all the annotations of those and make sure the closure can't escape anywhere, and you can't reference those things longer than this, or you have to say that, right? And then you're like, holy cow, like I just can't use closures that way.
Yeah.
Which is
Also,
like there's trade-offs, right? It's just a trade-off. Yep.
And then you just call string.clone. That's like that's
then
really
you
what you end up
string.clone.
doing is that you make your own garbage collection.
You type move in front of your closure, and then you clone a bunch of things into it.
That's pretty much what I've done every single time. All right.
Yes.
Above, we noted that the mode describes property independent of data layout. Such properties are deep as opposed to shallow layout encoded by a type. To understand this distinction, considering the following type. Okay, so this is a list. I don't quite know what this is. It looks like whatever the type.
So you just think of it as
generic
a generic.
T. Generic T is either empty or more of A, or a tuple. Is that a tuple of A?
Yeah, so it's like the head and then the rest of the list, which could be empty or it could be more list.
Okay,
right.
Head and rest of the list. So you're creating like a tuple that gets deeper.
Yeah, it's just a linked list basically, right?
Okay. Destructuring a value of tick A list produces two possible outcomes: either the empty list or a pair of a value and another list of arbitrary shape. Hence, the type only describes the value's top-level structure. All right, process, list, head, remaining. Okay. Conversely, there's that word again. They're getting all close to those words. Destructuring.
Eschewing the destructuring.
Man, I'm just too stupid for this. Destructuring a global variable of type tick A list produces either a empty list or a pair of global value and another global list. That is, the root node of the list may escape its region. The subsequent nodes clearly can too, so the entire list must be heap allocated. Okay, more. Perfect. The same logic applies to local case. Destructuring a local list produces a local value and another local list. It is possible to create a local list consisting entirely of stack allocations, so we must ensure the contents of the local list also do not escape. Okay. Exciting. Deepness enables the compiler to validate usage of local data structures. Okay, so local list, do this, and this returns, right? Don't we need the...
Yep.
exclave this? Where's the exclaving?
Well, so that's what it's going to say.
Oh, this
error.
value. Oh, this value. Okay, so I am getting
you're
this.
you're on it. Yeah, you're right on track.
I'm right on
you're
track.
following perfectly.
Okay, if locality didn't exhibit deepness, it wouldn't be very useful. If we could stack allocate the root node of the list, but we'd have no way to express that further nodes, it may also be stack allocated. Okay, cool. Submodes. Given deepness, locality might appear to be an all or nothing choice. So far, we allocated our data structure entirely on the stack or entirely on the heap. Yeah, that's kind of how I've envisioned it. To break this dichotomy, we will explore another important property of modes. Each mode access emits a natural subtyping relation. Okay, this might be the part where I get too dumb. In case of locality, it's intuitively safe to use global variable as if it were local. Absolutely. For example, a function expecting a local parameter promises equivalent behavior whether or not the parameter actually lives on the stack. Perfect. Therefore, we say global is a submode of local. Interesting. Which makes perfect sense, but still interesting.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, generally you think of, like, just when you're thinking of globals and locals, you're like, locals are kind of like a subset of globals, right? But, like, they're talking about it in a different relationship.
Yes, because there are always more globals than locals. There minimally has to be some level of globals that cannot exist locally. So,
you
therefore,
gotta do something sometime. This isn't Haskell.
This isn't Haskell. We're doing things. So submode really isn't about the number of things.
Right.
It's not a subset. It's
right.
The places in which it can operate.
Yeah. And like it's about
or not even that.
Which it's actually about like which direction. Just think about it as like local is kind of like animal and global is like dog, right?
Yep.
Like that's how you should just think about it.
Other way around.
Like
global is like
global
dog.
is a submode of local. So like anywhere that you could use a local variable, you can use a global.
Okay.
But anywhere you could use a global is not somewhere you can necessarily use a local.
Okay. I think, yes, correct. And allow global values to be used at a local mode. Okay. Let localize x and exclave x. Does this mean you take a global one?
Tells you what it does.
Yeah, it just takes, this is a function that takes in something that's global and must make it into something that's local?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's why they said before, locals may be on the stack. I'm pretty sure. I don't actually know because I haven't read this. I don't know the implementation like actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that's why it's may, because like you could basically move a global into like a local with this kind of idea and restrict what you were going to do with it, right? I think that's kind of what's going on.
Okay, so you could potentially have two different uses. So even though this will always still live on the heap, it's now restricting its usage of it in some sense. Okay, it is
as far as I can tell. Yep.
Okay, it is safe for a local value to reference a global, but not vice versa. Let's see, at runtime, this means we can create pointers from the stack to the heap, but not from the heap to the stack. For example, we can create a local, fully stack allocated list whose nodes refer to heap allocated values. Let's see. All right, let's see. Recursive localized list, exclave this list with either empty or the head remaining. We're going to recall. I don't know what more does. What is more?
It's like making an enum. So that's like the you know how in Rust, if you had like a list, you'd have like list : empty, list : more. They don't have the : here, like because they're contained inside of one type, right? So we made this like lists type and it has empty or more. So when you call more, it's not really calling it. It's saying this is more with this data. That's the data that's inside of there.
Okay, so this localize a list, so it creates a list of references. Yeah, so this effectively creates a list of references to something on the heap, but this list is allocated on the stack.
Right.
Wild. I'd have to think about that for a little bit. I mean, I get conceptually what they're doing. I'm just trying to think of why would I use this and when would I want to use this. It's hard for me to envision what to do here.
So the way that I was thinking of like why you would want to do this is if you have to do lots of iterations over this, you're going to do a lot less pointer chasing, right? Like because like all of your like pointers are actually on the stack, right? So you can just like locality, zoom in like CPU locality, right? Like zoom through the memory, and then you're only referencing those out to the when you need to go check the value, right? Because the value may be too big anyways for your stack and stuff or whatever, right?
Okay, so this effectively takes indirect pointers and turn them into direct pointers.
Yes, I think so.
Or single pointers.
I mean, that's what the picture makes me think of as well. So I think we're matching up with the picture.
Yeah, because now you're just I think this makes more sense. Okay, we could create local list where the only first node is stack allocated, say if we locally append to the global list. We could create a local list where only the first node is stack allocated. Say, if we locally append to the global list. Local cons, local head remaining, and let's see, exclave more head remaining. Okay, so
I
only
don't know why you would do this one.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't quite get this one because okay, so the head is local. That must mean the list is local as well, but the remaining is global.
Yeah. So I think they're not saying that each of these is useful. They're showing the deepness of the types.
Yeah.
I think is like, so they're just trying to show the different ways, and like lists are pretty easy to picture.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. The problem is sometimes these type of operations make me more confused than anything else. I think I see what's happening.
They should have just stopped with the first two examples and then maybe, I don't know. But I think they're just trying to show how you can do like more things if it made sense. But I'm not really sure.
Okay. Let's see. What we cannot create is a global list containing stack allocated nodes. Okay, that makes sense. Again, modes are deep. So any global list must have only captured globals. Yep. This preserves the invariant that whenever a node is heap allocated, all nodes reachable from it are also heap allocated. More rigorously, we could say that as we traverse a value, the current mode monotonically increases with depth.
Nice.
This restriction should also make intuitive sense. This sounds like my teacher teaching me computational theory. It's intuitive, and I'm like, I don't think you know what that word means.
You should have gotten this already from the first sentence, but if you're an idiot, I'll give you a paragraph.
Shoot. Since any list without a property contains a pointer from the heap to the stack. Let's see, hold on. This restriction should make it intuitive sense. Since any list without this property contains a pointer from the heap to the stack.
Check what Judo said in chat. Okay. He's not wrong.
Let's see. Monotonically, this gets nerds erect. This does. That's why there's even an entire clock called the monatomic clock. People love it. All right. Such a pointer is potentially used after freebug. The heap node may still be reachable after the stack has been freed. Okay, so this is effectively what they're saying is that you start with a depth of 0, if you will, and then once you move to the heap, it's a depth of 1. Therefore, you cannot go back to a depth of 0.
Right, exactly right.
If I got that correct.
Because then that's going to be real bad when that stack gets cleaned up and it no longer points to the thing you thought it did anymore.
I think you could re-say all of these words, which are all very fancy and beautiful sounding, and have the word globalist in here. I think it'd be a little bit easier to say that stack memory can refer to heap, but heap cannot refer to stack.
Yeah. Agreed.
Hey, maybe I could be a writer one day. Me and ChatGPT, we're getting after it.
In a sense, you kind of are. Like, if you think about the YouTube videos that you make as the sum total of your writing prowess, then
that is not a good prowess to brag about. The above layout can represent, can be represented using Rust lifetimes, which supports subtyping. However, safely manipulating such data structures requires significantly more reasoning on the programmer's part. Agreed. This is where it totally sucks.
Check.
Checkmate. This is just like where Rust gets horrible when you start getting into these weird lifetime problems. Lifetime variables. Again, it's super fast though if you can be good at it. But I just don't have enough, the problem is I don't write enough libraries to be good enough at it. So instead, it's like every time I do it, I kind of go, okay, I know what I'm trying to do. Let's start trying to do it. And then when it doesn't work, I get frustrated. And it takes me like 5 tries. I'm like, okay, I got it. And then it works, and then I change one thing, and then I have to rethink all the things.
Yeah, or like you move to make it go async, and then it just starts feeling really bad.
Then you just feel sad about yourself, your life, and your situation. Locality offers a compromise. Consider just one lifetime. The current region makes efficient stack allocation easy to use in many practical scenarios. Values with other lifetimes are still managed by the garbage collector. Okay. The global record fields. Because modes are deep, a local record always contains local values. Hold on one second. How much more do we have? Okay, we're almost to the end. Nice. I was about to say, this is a long article. However, since global is a submode of local, inner values may also be heap allocated, and sometimes the programmer knows they always will be. In this case, locality isn't necessarily restrictive. Therefore, we support annotating record fields with the explicit global mode. The compiler forbids initializing a global field using a local variable. Global fields are hence allowed to escape their region. Yep. Okay, so you can be a globalist if you need to.
Yeah, you can just be a hidden globalist. You're like parading around as a local, but then you're actually a globalist.
Oh, damn. That's a conspiracy type. Explicitly mutable record fields are automatically considered global. If this were not the case, a function could leak a local variable by storing it with a local parameter, violating region safety. For example, we have a mutable x option this Clear local box, local Y, none in this. Okay, so I don't
So
quite
basically,
get this.
like, fields can be mutable or not mutable in OCaml. You set it at the field level.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they said X is mutable, right? And
Oh,
they're
then
gonna
we
take
assign a local Y into a local box, but they're at different levels.
Yes. So then now, like, the box is gonna get the
Oh,
box. You're
yeah.
in trouble. You're returning this box, and or like it. So it's like, hey, you can't just put this here. This is, you said this was local. What are you doing?
Yes. Okay. For those that don't see what's happening here, this is a scope. This is a scope. And so Y lives this long. Box
Right.
lives this long. Therefore, this cannot happen.
Yeah. Basically, that's the case. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Locality and practice. At Jane Street, we've been using locality in production for some time. Developers who work on performance-sensitive systems use locality daily, and those who don't are largely unfamiliar with the feature, which means we've successfully limited the cost to our users who care. Therefore, we consider locality's expressivity and performance benefits worth the additional language complexity. I agree. If you could do that, oopsies, wrong way. If you could do this and people don't realize they're using one of the two, to me, that seems like a W. That means you've created a feature in which is not leaky, right? The outside doesn't need to know about it. Only the inside does.
Yeah, and when they say they've been using it in production, that means like a lot.
I would assume they do a lot of things.
With how much OCaml they have. That's not like, oh, we launched it and we've got 8 users. You know?
Yeah, we have a CLI that Tom uses to compile JDiesel, right? Like it's actually,
Yeah.
it's more than just for geniuses, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, building on locality success, the compiler team is now implementing additional modes for describing ownership constraints. In part 2, we'll explore new mode access represented uniqueness and linearity. Okay, that seems
That's
crazy.
ownership, basically.
Okay.
Those two together are ownership.
Okay, well, I love where this is going. I'm very happy. I feel like I could love OCaml. I'm still on the I don't know yet list. Okay, I still don't know, but I feel like I could love OCaml. And reading stuff like this, where you get practical performance without like massive unsafety of C, where it's just like sometimes it's such an annoying. Like if you've never worked out segmentation faults, it's super not fun. Or Rust, where like you said, you go with all these references and then you go async and then you hate your life, and then you're just like, why do I hate my life? And you're like, oh, it's because of all this.
Yeah.
So I love this. This is beautiful.
I'm very excited for the next one too, especially if you get a little bit of time to practice some OCaml this week, and then you'll start. It's gonna look like just like some Rust stuff, and you'll be like, "Oh my goodness, so sweet that I don't have to think about it all the time."
Yeah, it doesn't leak outwards, I assume,
Right.
which seems
One of the
amazing.
things. There's a really great podcast, Signals and Threads. I haven't been on it. If they ever want to have me on, I'd love to.
TJ hasn't been on Signals and Threads, by the way. Signals and Threads, if you're wondering.
But they talk about how a lot of the goal of what they're trying to do for this is like make the complexity very much opt-in, which they like mention at the end, right? But the idea is like you don't have to pay for the complexity on day 1 learning the language, right? And maybe
I
not
love
even
that.
day 100, but it's like when you run into the problem, then you have the tool to solve it without having to resort to something like completely different, right? Like, oh, we just have to rewrite this part of the stack in Rust. You're like, oh, dang it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
So that's what I'm excited about. So, anyways, this has been the Educationen.
Yeah, this is the. Hey, don't do that. That's my line. Hey, it's completely inappropriate. And I don't go underneath. I go to the side. Okay, you got to go to the side. All right, that makes a big difference. Do you understand?
The Educationen.
Okay.
Listen to this man's screams and be influenced.
Get influenced, kid. All right.
Get influenced.
The name?
And quit your job.
Oh, got him. Tune in and drop out. What did Timothy Leary
Buy
say?
my free course on front end masters and get bankrupted.
What? All right. Hey, the name is Tej_DV. All right. Bye, TJ. This is ridiculous.
Okay, bye, chat. Love you, everybody. See you later.
Marker Tej.
Am I leaving?
Yeah. Ending
Okay,
OCaml read with Tej. I hope I started it. I don't even know if I started it.
Hopefully this VOD survives.
Yeah,
Bye.
apparently the VOD might not survive. Bye-bye. All right, there we go. Stop that. Get TJ out of here. All right, there we go. Hey, that was kind of neat. I really hope that this VOD does survive, because if we're having sound problems, I am not going to lie to you. I might be emotional. I might get a bit emotional, especially because I really liked this article, and I don't want to reread it. You know what I mean? Like, this was a really great one, and I just feel so sad. Is this an anti-Rust channel? No, this is just simply a channel that uses a bunch of languages in which I will go and I will tell you about them, what makes them amazing, right? I know this is we're getting kind of official there, and I will tell you that I love Rust, but I also recognize some of the parts of Rust that can become pain in the asses. I'll be right back. Hey, Judo, what do you think about OCaml? Judo, what do you think about OCaml? Well, it's used a lot by one company, a whole bunch. A billion-dollar company is pushing the whole ecosystem forward at all times. The syntax gets me. Well, it's a functional language. Judo said he would use OCaml if he liked functional languages. Yeah. So I'm not a functional language kind of person. I don't really like it. Does LSP always check the code in normal mode? In Yovim, it does both. You know, normally I'm not a local, or I'm not a functional guy. So that's why I'm seeing, can I like a functional language? Because that'd be very unusual. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, ML Dev, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Dornix Ham, thank you very much for the Tier 1. Let's
Welcome
go, baby.
Costco.
Wags Lane, brand new Twitch Prime. Poroxide, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Time Historian 19, hell yeah, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Did I see a Dax raid in here? Oh, Dax, thank you for the 64, baby. Twitch is goofing out. Pixel Fiddler, thank you. So careful. Smug Aaron, welcome. Google says OCaml is a multi-paradigm and has object-oriented features, so I don't know what to believe. Yeah, you shouldn't. So what kind of projects would you use? I'm gonna start with some CLI stuff.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
So Rust macro system is incredible. I must say that their macro system is incredible, and it is shocking how good it is. You know what I mean? It is shocking how good the macro system is. So I don't want to discredit that at any point. But problems. Macros can get really hard, okay? Just because you can use a macro does not mean it's a good idea to use a macro. Follow up, a big thing about this is that Rust gets really hard when it comes to certain ways you express. Because remember, even Rust claims this is true. Here, I'm just gonna yank this thing. Okay, I don't know why you went over there, but if you like this with Rust and you call this, if you say this is safe programs, right? Rust is more like this. These are the available Rust programs. Oh my goodness. Let's go to small. Let's go like this. Bap, bap, bap. Right? So there's like all safe possible programs and the ones Rust allows you to express. And so that's the thing, is that Rust will prevent you from doing something that is safe because it cannot
It turns all your bad
tell by
feelings
the
into
compiler.
good feelings. It's a nice.
So I think that's the big difference, and this is what makes just Rust in general harder, is that it limits your ability to express, but it also gives you a super expressive type system, which is both amazing and really difficult. Right? You mean like TypeScript? No, TypeScript is nothing like this. This is TypeScript. Right? Hold on. So these are safe programs. These are Rust programs. These, on the other hand, here. Get the hell out of here. I don't even know what you are. These are unsafe programs, right? Let's just call them two different ones. This fundamentally is something like TypeScript. It's based on the user's ability, right? Oh my goodness, why am I doing this so poorly? Right? So this would be TypeScript, right? Because TypeScript has no guarantees whether this is safe or unsafe, right? So you can't say it's one or the other, right? Nice boobas, yeah. These should probably be squares at this point, but you get the idea. Don't put it in here. Zig has some things that make it safer, but you can still write unsafe code. So Zig would be more like this circle, right? Zig would be the one that's just slightly tilted over, right? You get at language level, like you can't just, in Zig, you can't just be like, nah, right? But you can. So, I mean, I guess you could probably put Zig under this. Maybe you could put Zig in the same category, right? Go would probably be in the same category. You have a lot of the same stuff all here, right? So types don't necessarily define the safety in the language. Well, no, types themselves don't just define. In Rust, it's kind of convoluted because you can't say they do and they don't, because lifetimes are the type. So you kind of have this like interesting concept. Yeah, so Dreambird, if you're wondering what Dreambird is, Dreambird actually exists out here. It's called the Omni program, right? It exists in all states at the exact same time. This is a Dreambird world, okay? Dreambird can exist everywhere at once because Dreambird is amazing, right? That's Dreambird. It's up here. So even when it's unsafe, it still also exists as safe at the same time. Thanks, Tech Savvy Travi. How you doing? Sure, Jane Street has been pushing it for a lot, but I've used it in production with Buckle script compiling to JS, but I think it's generally overrated. You think it's overrated? Okay. I have no strong feelings yet about it. You know what I mean? Do you think that Rust will suffer dramatically because of leadership? I don't think I have a strong opinion on that. I'm not sure. I can't say it's either. Rust, type safe plus memory safe. Yes. Yeah. Transient. Yeah. Transcendent, not transient. Very different. What is the meaning of safeness? Memory, races, types? Pretty much all of those. You know what I mean? Rust allows for safety in all sorts of different axes. It's just, it's hard to put it on the same. It's not the same, You know what I mean? I think Rust has suffered because of leadership. Rust has most certainly suffered because of leadership. And it's too bad. It's too bad, but what can you do? Lisp is cool and mind-bending, but I can't imagine a world without static typing. Yeah, I want static typing, so that's why I'm sticking with OCaml. Except data races and memory leaks are possible in Rust, so define safety. Well, possible... Okay, so you can definitely... Data races are extremely hard to do. I'm not even sure if you could do a data race. I don't know how to express the data race. I'm sure there's a way in unsafe mode you could. So maybe... Type safe, thread safe, memory safe. So I guess you could. I don't know how to do it though. With unsafe, I'm sure I know there's constraints still on unsafe, right? But you can still do things in unsafe that will make it unsafe. But that's not quite the same things. Have you looked into functors yet? You've been talking about traits and how you like them. I was wondering. Functors are more like generating new modules via higher order modules. So functions generating new modules. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not a big functional person, right? I'm just learning some of these things a little bit. As a Rust pre-noob, aka someone who knows nothing about it, how is Rust safer than, say, something like Go? Oh, yeah. I can show you very, very simple. Thanks, Tech Savvy. I appreciate that. A very, very simple example of that. Why can I not exit this? What is going on here? There we go. Let's go like this. Let's go to TS Rust Zig. Let's leave this. Let's go CD Rust, Rust, Vim. Yeah, let's go to the REPL. Okay, so if I were to make something like this, async function, right? Async function foo, right? And let's just say this thing takes in a here. Let's go like this. Struct foo, right? There we go. Oh, fru. Okay, we got a fru, baby. Fru takes in a fru, right? I couldn't do something like Tokyo. Oh, I don't even have Tokyo spawn. Can I just do standard spawn? I think I can. Is it standard thread spawn? Yeah. There we go. I think that's. I always forget how you do this. All right, so I can call let fru equals fru, right? There we go. And then I can call foo with fru, right? But here's the deal. When we start getting into here, I can't go like this. I can't also have something do something with fru at this point. Here, can I throw one of those in here? I always forget. Hold on. I can't do something now with fru, so I can't go print ln bang. And so, oh, it doesn't implement the debug trait. Dang it. There you go. So this is one thing that it prevents you from doing, is taking a value, moving it, and you using it, right? So that's like something that you cannot do. Fru does not exist in this scope anymore. It exists right here. So that's like a big thing that they do. And you couldn't also pass fru to multiple threads. And some things can't be passed between threads. It tells you you can't do that because it won't allow you to do it. And so I think that it's very important because it makes it really easy to prevent a certain type of problems where you refer to two things and then it dies, but you still have a reference to it, right? And so it doesn't allow that. So you kind of think of it instead of copy. So whenever you assign something somewhere, so when I put it right here, I am literally taking the value and moving it out of my scope into somewhere else. But if you want to, so if you wanted to, you can do something like arc, right? You could do it, really, you'd have to do an arc mutex, right? And so what this does right here is this will allow you to have something that can be sent across many threads, an arc, an atomic reference counter. So it's kind of like garbage collection, if you will, reference counting. This, on the other hand, you're probably familiar with Go. If you have any sort of like a map that's being accessed by many Go routines, you need some way to synchronize access, reads and writes, so therefore you have to use a mutex anyways. So this just simply takes something that can be shared across threads that you have to access via mutex to be able to mutate it. So that's all that's happening here. So for me to be able to use fru, I'd have to do something like lock. And once I lock it, then I can do something with it. Does that make sense? It's just like Go. So it enforces certain ways you can do stuff. This stuff is hard, but it's good. It's just so good for safe programs. Seriously, I love the constraints. Yeah. There's also channels. Channels do, yeah. Is Arc similar to smart pointers in C++? Yeah, you can think of it like a shared pointer in some sense. Yeah. What about pop locket? I mean, you have to be really good. Can you mistakenly use RC instead of Arc? No. So that's a beautiful thing. So if I go like this, RC, and I do this, it's gonna hold on. Let's go like this. Here, let's just make it take in an arc mutex or a RC mutex. Strange, right? It's gonna say right here. So you can see it right here. You cannot be sent safely between threads. An RC cannot be sent across a thread, and so it's preventing you from using a non-atomic counting reference to be sent. So that's kind of nice, right? That's a nice feature. Now, you could design a program in which is safe and also uses just reference counting and is sent between threads, but you can't express that in Rust. So even though that program does exist, right? So theoretically, this program does exist right here, right? We'll go like this. RC multi-thread. Right? So this program does exist. It can exist in a safe world, but it does not exist in the Rust world. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Well, you can create a program that has reference counting, that also has threads. Okay, no. Hey, Dave? 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 Careful, buddy. This stuff makes sense to me. Yeah. Rust programs are a subset of all safe programs that are provable by... Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. There you go. So that's why these two things can both exist under safe programs, but they both cannot... They don't exist like this. They exist like this. Rust cannot prove that this is safe. Therefore, it's not safe. It's not provably safe. So this is an interesting statement because it's not necessarily true. Dave gonna get banned. I know, Dave might get banned here. I mean, technically, I would say Rust exists more like this. And the reason why Rust exists like this is you can still create a memory leak. So that's not safe in all aspects of safe. It's safe in terms of memory, meaning that you can never get like some sort of weird attack based on memory that's easy to do in, say, in C++, right? You can't go exploring the other stack. It's hard, but you can do it. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. How would you create a leak? A map. All you need is a service and a map, right? So if you had a mutex, hash map, doesn't matter what it is, you just forget to clear out the keys, right? You don't clear out a key, you create a leak, right? Memory leaks is super simple. Yeah, memory leak is super simple. You can also, yeah, but this is an intentional one, right? That creates a static reference, right? I understand 10 to 20 years ago we had to manage memory, but all computers have greater than, so why is this important? Speed. I mean, it's the same reason why when we read this one right here, when we read this article right here about why he switched from NeoVim, he said he had his old computer and his old computer couldn't even run VS Code, but now his new computer can. Well, the problem is that we've programmed everything to meet yesterday's computers. Today's computers feel fast, but tomorrow they'll feel slow again. And the reason why do they feel slow? Because whatever memory and CPU is available will be shittily used by JavaScript. That is a theorem. I think it's really good. It's a good theory. Yeah, of course. Tech savvy, I want you to think about. Tech savvy, I want you to think about it for a second. If you never delete the key out of a map, what happens to the value? Pretty sure he thinks memory doesn't matter because he got no users. Classic no users. Thanks for the 100 biddies. Think about it for a second. What happens? Luke Pie. How about on the other hand, probably a large map is easier to fix than leaking bits of memory. Yes, you cannot. The prime Java shit theory. It is. It's dumb to say computers are X powerful. Why do we care about speed? We should always aim for better performance. You should. It's the reason why when I use Amazon Prime, I hate the experience. I dislike some of Netflix's experience. I don't hate them. Is there an advantage to mutability other than performance? Yeah. It's easier to grok, but I think long term it's easier to just have immutability. All right. I think it's easier to create performance wins. Yeah. So pretty much that. Thank you, Bob. Blob. Witch Doc. Thank you. Okay. Don't spam though. Grug on closures. That's funny. Can you show that code again? It was worth, let's see. What is the arc mutex? Meaning that's like, it's on a Mr. Streamer. Thank you. So imagine you had a thread, right? Right. So imagine you had a thread over here, right? Crap. Crap. You get the idea though. I put a little new in there, but you imagine this is your type, right? Let foo equal this type, right? Right. So foo's this type. I can now share it between threads. My threads are all adding keys when they need it. Well, who's clearing out the keys? Who's keeping the memory down? Because every string you add is a string that remains in memory until it's not used anymore. Because the ownership sits in the map, which sits in this mutex, which sits on this arc, which is shared among many threads. So it keeps on going for the lifetime until it's taken out. So if you don't clear it out, that memory is permanently fixed inside these strings and can never be undone. So this is a common thing that does happen on servers. Some memory is forgotten to be cleaned up, and it's a leak. So a leak is not unsafe. If your background is math, purely functional programming is way more intuitive. right? I don't know. I would not know because my background is not a lot of math. Just a little. Safe programs should be a subset of all programs instead of having unsafe and safe programs be disjunct sets. Okay, oil. The map will live forever along. Let's see, the map will live forever. Yeah. If you use NeoVim, then Mason has some great ones. Yeah, I like Mason. It's great. Is it possible to have some kind of distributed map where each submap has a limited lifetime? No idea, but I'm sure you could figure out something. All right. So apparently, I may be leaking stuff into the recordings. So I'm kind of... I gotta go figure that out. I'm gonna be deeply sad if this Nexel read... If this Nexel read is polluted, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to have to record a video because I think it's a really cool topic to talk about. Okay? So I'll do that. No matter what, there's going to be a video about it. My favorite educational channel is ThePrimeagen or ThePrimeagen. Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to go. Just mute the music. Yeah, I know. Just mute the music, Fivehead. See, what do you think of NV Chat? Not a big fan. I got to go, though. Honestly, it's time for me to go. Let's see, we haven't rated Justine in a while. Every day, it's back on. Every day, we get hit with that. Eduardo is an OCaml champ, apparently. The ultimate programming language. All right, you know who we haven't rated in a long time? Lana Lux. She shares a name with my wife. So we're gonna raid this. I have never seen Dr. Disrespect without glasses.
Selected out.
Okay. Uncleanable rust memory leak. Well, look at that. Very naughty. This already looks really, really hard for me to understand. I was confused the first time Flip Edit said something about Lana and you. I was thinking of Lana Lux. Yep, not that one. Different one. Excellent. You're welcome. Great stream. Thank you. I thought it was a lot of fun. Looks good to me. +1. Yeah. Do you have any opinions about VLang? When I used it, it was just it wasn't prepared. Right? I tried to build a node, a linked list, with the node being able to take in a generic. That's it. That's all I tried to build, and it wasn't ready. It could not do that, and that was last year. So it's like, the language is too young. Did you get the goats I sent? No. No. So for me, VLang's out of the question, right? Does that make sense? The V wasn't prepared for Prime. Yeah, I know. Oh, I want a goat. Goats are hard to manage. Off topic. Is Leak Code worth spending time on? Leak Code is mid. Bye-bye now. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. Big timeout. Big timeout. You know, I think this might make more sense.